All right, I'd mentioned there is some damage around Marrero of possibly a tornado. We say possible because the imagery, at least there was a photograph of a funnel cloud. We just don't know for certain whether or not it touched the ground. Could have touched the ground, could have just been associated with some straight line winds. Either way, there was some damage. Now, going back in time, right as some of the heavier rain started to move from the west bank onto the east bank, just before 8 o'clock, started to almost see kind of a little hook feature on the reflectivity around Estelle. As we kind of time this out over the few minutes after that, still kind of had that hook feature moving around the Estelle area toward Marrero, and that may have been when you had that funnel cloud that could have briefly touched down as a tornado. At about 8:17, no longer had that hook, probably still had some rotation within there, and that may have been when that tornado touched down, continuing as it moved almost more toward the northeast, and then no other further damage was reported beyond Marrero, and so far the images that I'm seeing are fairly minor. So thankfully, it doesn't look like it was anything widespread. So we can never rule out an isolated spin-up tornado, but generally speaking, we're not going to see any kind of widespread tornado activity along this line. And in fact, as mentioned before, at the moment, the Storm Prediction Center is not planning to place us under any type of watch. It'll just be kind of case by case as these storms roll in, and they have been weakening as they have done so. Still some pockets of heavier rainfall. Now, this is not associated with the line. It's moving toward Kentwood right now, but some pop-up showers and thunderstorms which have been moving, but as we saw around the city, they can briefly be associated with some heavy rainfall. The rains that we had over the city now moving more into southern, or in the Slidell area, kind of southeastern St. Tammany Parish as they continue into Hancock County. More rain to come though, but thankfully this line is weakening as it approaches. It'll be with us through the overnight. You'll certainly hear some rumbles of thunder and some rain through the overnight and periods of rain early tomorrow. 74 degrees, our current reading. Dew points are in the low 70s. Temperatures are generally in the 70s, but we have had some rain starting to fall into the 60s. Still under the humid air, but drier air is not too far away. It'll be moving in probably late tomorrow night that you'll really start to feel the difference. And as we go more toward wake up time on Sunday, you will definitely notice the change. And it's all associated with this big upper level trough. We have had active storms all day from this system from almost Mexico and South Texas all the way through western Pennsylvania and almost up to Canada. So this is a fairly active system as it moves in. The line is weakening, but the Storm Prediction Center right now keeping us under a level 2 threat for severe weather. Main threats would be strong winds, as we've seen, and also hail. Again, can't rule out an isolated tornado, but that doesn't look to be the real risk. Rainfall, though, is on the march, and notice our model not really doing a great job. Actually, let's kind of start it where we currently are. So starting this at about 10:15 or so. Note the model does not do a very good job of indicating how substantial that line is. So keeping that in mind, we'll kind of time out our rainfall. We will have rain around during the 2 a.m. hour, and then maybe activating again as we approach daybreak and in the morning. Now, thankfully, it doesn't look like it's going to be an all-day rain. May still have some showers kind of firing up along the boundary, the front itself by the afternoon, but I think the bulk of the rain will be morning and midday and then wrapping after that. Through the night tonight and kind of tapering off tomorrow morning, there will still be that risk of some isolated street flooding. I think that more than anything is going to be the risk, as it looks like the severity of these storms has been waning as they continue to move in our direction. So starting off tomorrow, we'll have the rainfall around, some thunderstorms and a few isolated downpours, but generally I think that'll be coming to an end by the afternoon. Maybe a rainy start as the gates open at Jazz Fest, but later in the day drying out. Then beautiful weather as we head into Sunday, less humid air making it feel very pleasant, and kind of a cool start to our Monday, 50s and 60s. We will gradually warm back into the lower to mid 80s as we head deeper into next week, but our rain chances will be increasing Tuesday through about Friday.